Question 16. Question 16 asks that sclerenchyma is a thick-walled tissue. Sclerenchyma is a thick-walled tissue which has a deposition of. Now, thick-walled deposition occur due to the lignin, and this lignin deposition occur in cell wall and they become thick. So correct option become A. Why? Because if we see in sclerenchyma specific sclerates, you will see that the lumen become less but the wall become thick. So if this much thick walls are present and they have deposition, then lignin become found in deposited there. So because of this they become dead tissue. So option A become correct answer. Question 17. Question 17 asks that specialized epidermal cells surrounding the guard cells. Epidermal cells, and these epidermal cells are specialized and surrounding. If we see the structure of stomata, in stomata you will find that in specifically a dicot they have a bean shaped guard cells. Bean shaped guard cells, inner walls are thick, outer walls are thin, they have stomata. Now surrounding to that you will find the special cells which are known as subsidiary cells. So these are the guard cells and these are subsidiary cells which are a modification of epidermal cells. This is a stomatal pore. So the option A become correct answer for the specialized cell, that is a subsidiary cells. Question 18. Question 18 asks that cortex is a region found between. Cortex found between. So you know that as we take a cross section of any structure, that is a root or a stem, the outermost become epidermis. Then inner to epidermis you will find a cortex. Then inner to cortex you will find a layer of tissue, that is endodermis. And so if we consider the cortex is present between the epidermis, okay, and endodermis. Now inner to endodermis you will find a pericycle, then you will find a vascular tissue, and you will find in the center that is opith. So now what happens if we see with this, the epidermis is there and inner to endodermis all the things are present. Now be remember that all the tissue which are present inner to endodermis they will be considered as stelae. So if we go in the option, any option is not saying with the epidermis and endodermis. The option A is somewhat similar, that is epidermis and stelae. Yes, stelae is here and epidermis outside, so cortex is present in between. So it is the most appropriate option according to the question. So we remember stelae means what? All the tissue which are lying inner to endodermis, means it consists of pericycle, vascular tissue and pith. Next is question 19. It asks that in Eichhornia parenchyma develop air spaces. In Eichhornia parenchyma develop air spaces, such parenchyma with air cavity. Now parenchyma with air cavity. This type of parenchyma are known as parenchyma, and parenchyma provide buoyancy, that is a floating characteristic to the several plants. So C become the correct answer. Next is question 20. Question 20 asks that consider the following statement and select the correct one. Now option 1 is given that in monocot stem ground tissue is continuous mass of parenchyma. In monocot stem ground tissue is a continuous mass of parenchyma tissue in which vascular bundles are found scattered. Yes, in monocot stem scattered vascular bundles are found. So it is a correct statement. Now in second statement they have given that in leaves the ground tissue consists of thin walled chloroplast containing cells called bundle cells. So in leaf the ground tissue is made up of mesophyll cells, not of a bundle sheath. But in statement bundle sheath is given, so this becomes the incorrect statement. So both out of these two, option 1 is correct, so A is given as only 1. So this becomes the correct answer. Next is question 21. It asks that which of the following is made up of dead cell. Now dead cell are nothing but a sclerenchyma. Now out of the option we have to identify which have a sclerenchymatous deposition. So if we see A is given as xylem parenchyma, and parenchyma is a living cell, so this is not a dead cell. Next option B is given as cholenchyma. Cholenchyma are also a living elastic tissue, so this will not become the dead cell or sclerenchymatous. Option C is given as phloem. Now phloem is made up of cork. Phloem is known as cork, and this cork is present outside the phloem, that is cork cambium, and later on it have a suberin deposition, and due to suberin deposition they become impervious to water. And become dead. And option D is given as phloem. Even the phloem is a primary tissue, it is a living, so it is not a dead. So option C becomes the correct answer, that phloem cork is a dead tissue due to suberin deposition. Next is question 22. Question 22 asks that companions are absent in. Now companion cell are absent in. Companion cell are the particular living tissue which is found in case of the phloem. This is the present in the phloem. And this companion cell are a characteristic of angiosperm. So phloem is a vascular tissue. This is found in case of only vascular plant, and companion cell is a characteristic of angiosperm. So in vascular plant the remaining are bryophyte, pteridophyte and gymnosperm. So they do not have a companion cell, so B is a correct. In place of companion cell, pteridophyte and gymnosperm have albuminous cells. Which cells they have? Albuminous cells. Question 23. Question 23 asks that what do you mean by closed vascular bundle? Closed vascular bundle means that between the phloem and xylem cambium is absent. Intravesicular vascular cambium is absent, and this type of closed vascular bundle is found in case of monocot stem and dicot monocot leaf. So cambium is absent, so option B is the correct answer. Next is question 24. Question 24 asks that monocot stem leg. So as we have discussed in the above questions, monocot stem leg cambium, that is option C, due to which secondary growth is absent. So option C is the correct answer. Question 25. Question 25 asks that jute, sunham fibers are obtained from the region of. So you know that jute and sunham are obtained from the phloem or bast fibers, and this phloem or bast fibers are obtained or a region of phloem. So that is option A is the correct answer. Question 26. 26 asks that lateral meristem is present in. Now lateral meristem is a secondary meristem which is present laterally and give rise to secondary growth. So now lateral meristem is present in. So if we consider option A is given as vascular cambium. So vascular cambium is obviously a lateral meristem. Option B is given as cor cambium, so that is also the correct answer. Cor cambium is also lateral meristem. Option C is given the xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem not a meristemic tissue, they are the primary vascular tissue, so that cannot be the meristem. And option D is given that both A and B, so both at A and B become the correct answer. Option D is the answer. Next is question 27. 27 asks that which of the following statement is true. We have to identify a true statement. Now option A is given as vessels are multicellular and with wide lumen. Yes, if we talk about the vessels are like this and they are made up of several vessel elements. This is one vessel element, this is another vessel element, this is another vessel element, due to which this become multicellular and they have a wide lumen. Lumen is wide. So this is the correct statement. Option B is given that tracheids are multicellular. No, tracheids are unicellular and they have a narrow lumen. So that is the incorrect statement. Option C is given as vessels are unicellular. Vessels are not unicellular, they are multicellular and with a narrow. No, they have wide lumen. So this is also incorrect. Option D is given as tracheids are unicellular with a wide lumen. No, tracheids are unicellular with narrow lumen. So that also become incorrect. So option A become the correct answer. Next is given question 28. Question 28 asks that you are given a fairly old piece of dicot stem and dicot root. Which of the following anatomical feature will you distinguish between these two? So dicot stem and dicot root. Now dicot stem and dicot root are there. Now if you want to identify dicot stem and dicot root, which of the following we have to select? So the option given are option A, that is secondary xylem. Secondary xylem actually found in case of the dicot stem as well as dicot root, because secondary growth occurs in case of both. Now we remember this I mean secondary. So this is not useful to identify a difference distinguish between the option B is given a secondary xylem. Again secondary phloem. Again secondary phloem is a produced during secondary growth, and both can have a secondary growth, so that is not a distinguishing feature. Option C is given as protoxylem. Now protoxylem is a early formed primary xylem. Early formed primary xylem. Now protoxylem is a early formed primary xylem. Now the arrangement of this is exarch in case of root and endarch in case of stem. If there is a exarch, the protoxylem which is early form that lie towards the periphery, and metaxylem lies towards the center. So at periphery you will find a protoxylem, and endarch you will find a particular protoxylem that is towards the center, and this is known as endarch. So this difference can help us to identify and distinguish between the dicot stem and dicot root. And option D is given cortical cells. Cortical cells are present in both of them, so it is incorrect statement. C is the correct answer. Protoxylem help us to identify the differences between the dicot stem and dicot root. Question 29. Question 29. A major characteristic of monocot stem. A major characteristic of monocot stem is the presence of. First option is given as open vascular bundle. Open vascular bundle are not found in case of monocot stem because they have a closed vascular bundle. Secondary growth does not occur, so it is incorrect. Option B is given as scattered vascular bundle. Yes, scattered vascular bundle are found in case of monocot stem, so that is the correct statement. Option C is given as vasculature without cambium. Yes, they have vasculature. Major. Yes, they have vasculature without cambium, but same the vascular without cambium can found in case of leaf, dicot leaf and monocot leaf also says, so it is not a particular characteristic feature. And option D, cambium sandwiched between the phloem and xylem along the radius. So phloem and xylem cambium is present, so it is not true because it is a monocot stem, and monocot stem can be a mammary stem, so option B is the correct answer. Next is question 30. Question 30 asks that endarch is a condition in which, just we have discussed in case of question, endarch means the protoxylem is present towards center, that is pith, and metaxylem is present towards the periphery. So in such case, if we look a vascular bundle only, the diagram look like protoxylem is towards the center and metaxylem is periphery. Protoxylem is towards the center and metaxylem is periphery. So this type of condition are found. So this is the protoxylem and this are the metaxylem. Protoxylem is present towards the center, so endarch condition is found in case of this. So correct answer is option A.